Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream on the Just Baseball Network. It is Tuesday, May 23rd, and I got you for 3 MLB best bets. Of course, we're going to go over the model, and then we're going to welcome on. How many handicappers do we have today, Producer Cohen? We got 7, we got 8. Yeah, we got 7 people coming on. They all have 3-4 picks apiece. So you're going to hear about every single game. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, we do this every day, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Eastern. All lines you will find on BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Remember to use code JBFans when you download. That's where we're going to track all the line movement, all that good stuff for new users. And then it's probably important to use the code today of all days because you're going to get bonus bets back-to-back days. So you wager $10 on any MLB money line today, you'll get that bonus of $100 once the bet is settled. Then on Wednesday and Saturday, you will just continue to see bonus bets loaded into your system. BetMGM is taking care of us MLB folks, which is awesome because they ain't doing this for NBA, NHL. This is for us MLB folks. So take advantage while the iron is hot. And remember, if you ever miss a play, they're all tracked on the Pickett Sports app. Use code PETER when you sync your sports book, then you'll be entered into a little raffle. You can win anywhere from $3 to $100, and it's a completely free app. That's where all the picks are tracked. It's the best pick tracking app. And then, of course, down the line, we are going to do our prize picks entries, and we will get to that soon. But before we get into any picks, remember, this is a competition, right? Whoever has the most units at the end of the season will end up winning World Series tickets or a $500 cash prize. As you can see, your boy is at number 1 right now with Jake at plus 8.16 units. I clear him respectfully. I'm clearing him right now. But of course, that could change. It'll fluctuate as the season goes on. We've gotten off to a pretty damn good start this season. But of course, we always have today. So without further ado, let's do a quick recap how we did yesterday. Bang! How about that? Minnesota versus San Francisco had me sweating in my shorts. Under 9, 4-0 from the Giants before Bailey Ober even got his first out. Unbelievable. I thought it was over immediately. And I'm not someone to count out bets early, but when I saw the Giants score 4 runs before an out was recorded, I'm like, yeah, it's probably not going to hit. Legacy. 4-1 final. Unbelievable. And then on the flip side, how about that Rays versus Blue Jays over? We hit 3 straight of them. The Rays just kept hitting. And then the opposing team was doing their job. The Blue Jays did put up 4 of their own. But how about the Rays destroying Chris Bassett? But thanks a lot, Chris Bassett. 6 runs, only 2 of them earned in our prize picks entry. 6 runs. Yes, I know the rules of earned runs. Blue Jays fans were very keen to let me know. I appreciate it. Yes, I know that if there was an error before a home run, that it's not an earned run. Thank you for letting me know, Blue Jays fans. But at the end of the day, I said I'll wear it on the chin. If Chris Bassett doesn't go over 2.5 earned runs, I'm wearing it, right? He didn't go over 2.5 earned runs, but he did go over 6 runs. So I'm calling that battle a push. I hit my over. Chris Bassett did not pitch well, but he still won a little bit. That's why I can't take the full win on that one. But then Nolan Arenado, Javon is very good, but he gave us a slice of cake. I blame him completely. No, I love Javon. He's going to come on and give us winners in a little bit. But that's the recap of yesterday, right? We're just continuing to build in the shadows while everybody else is putting down 10-unit mega bookie maxes, and then they're nowhere to be seen when it does. That's not who I am. We bet on value, and we win day over day. That's what I'm here to do for you today. I got 3 MLB best bets. Let's start, Producer Cohen, with the White Sox and the Guardians because that game starts at 6:10 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Dylan Cease versus Logan Allen. Now, these exact pitchers matched up 5 days ago, and the game ended with a 3-1 Guardians win. Dylan Cease threw a quality start, and Logan Allen skated by on 7 hits, but he only allowed 1 earned run. Plenty of runners left on base. Both teams had an expected batting average of over 260 in that game, which is pretty solid. They mustered 15 hits in that game, but only 4 runs. The familiarity is there, and these offenses, normally when that happens, they get a better chance to score. Runs usually cross the plate in these type of matchups. Now, Dylan Cease, right? He finished second in American League Cy Young voting last season, but has not looked nearly as effective this season. The spin rates, the velocity on his pitches are down across the board. He's allowing the hardest contact of his career to this date. His strikeout rate, lowest since 2020. He's just leaving too many pitches middle. I'm assuming he's going to bounce back at some point, but he's been historically bad on the road, and the Guardians just saw him. I don't think it happens today. And it may not happen all year, right? He has a 4.54 xERA, 4.20 FIP compared to his 4.79 ERA. I could tell you his past stats against the Guardians, but Cease isn't the same pitcher as he was last year. So I don't put a ton of stock into his stats from previous seasons when he's been a new guy this season. And the Guardians against him had a 299 expected batting average. That was without Jose Ramirez, who was 5 for 18 with 2 doubles and a 299 expected batting average against him in his career. The Guardians lineup, and that's a better Dylan Cease. This Guardians lineup has been dreadful this season. We're not going to sugarcoat it. But matchups against fastball slider, I know the people who have been with me since the beginning know when I was taking the Guardians all the time, they know that I would go after fastball slider dominant guys. That's what Dylan Cease is. They haven't been doing it this season. I think it reverts a little bit back today with that familiarity. But on the flip side, Logan Allen skated by in his last start against the White Sox, who are in their better split against left-handers. The White Sox have a 106 WRC plus against lefties this season, but they've been much better in May. They have a 142 WRC plus in May, good for 5th in baseball. The White Sox, they're not that good, but what they are good at is these type of lefties, and that's what Logan Allen is. 7 hits, 1 earned run in his last start. I think those turned into runs today. And Allen has been great from a production standpoint, but his xERA at 5.09 compared to his 3.04 ERA is definite cause for concern, and it's on the back of a lot of hard contact. The White Sox rank 7th in hard hit rate against left-handers, and again, they just saw him 5 days ago. They should come in with a better plan. And if we're talking about the bullpens, right, because that's a part of it, nobody in this White Sox bullpen scares me. And then when I consider the Guardians bullpen, I do think it's a very good bullpen, but I have a feeling that the White Sox are going to be ahead early. I think they get a lot of their runs off Logan Allen. Guardians score 3-ish runs. I think it's 4-3 kind of after 5. And then this game just topples over. I think it ends with a 5-4 score. Wouldn't be surprised if the Guardians ended up winning late against that White Sox pen. So the pick, and also Progressive Field, it is ranked 6th in all run scoring environments out of 15 ballparks. So out of 15, it ranks 6th in run scoring. This game should go over 8. I got it at -110. And you're probably curious, would you take it at 8.5? I would, considering it's what, -105? What are we looking at on BetMGM right now? Let's see, 8.5 at -105. Yeah, I still think that's playable. Maybe just for a little bit of a smaller unit, right? You don't got to lay juice, maybe just a unit. But I put 1.1 units on the over 8, and that's one of my favorite bets of the day. And it's good to see that line moving, right? Think about it to yourself, right? The game ended 3-1 last time they played. Yesterday, the game ended 3-0. And now the total's at 8 and rising. I think it goes over. All right, let's go to St. Louis. And by going to St. Louis, I mean we're going to Great American Ballpark. St. Louis Cardinals on the road against the Cincinnati Reds at 6:40 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Adam Wainwright versus Graham Ashcraft. The total is very high for a reason. While both pitchers are popular names, I doubt that either really turns in a good outing today. Adam Wainwright must hate pitching at Great American Ballpark. Last season, this is crazy. Last season, he threw twice there. He allowed 11 runs in 10 1/3 innings. In 2021, the year before, he threw there once and allowed 7 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings. In 2019, he threw there twice and allowed 10 earned runs in 10 innings on 16 hits. In 2017, 12 runs in 6 innings over 2 starts. in the years that I skipped, right, because I didn't say anything about 2018 and say anything about 2020, it's not because he pitched well. He didn't pitch there. I could keep going to 2016, 2015. I could keep going, but I feel like we're just wasting time. We get the picture. Adam Wainwright in Great American Ballpark is not a recipe for success. It's a strange phenomenon in Major League Baseball. It really is. Like, even really good Adam Wainwright, right? 5 years ago, Adam Wainwright was terrible. What do you think this version of Adam Wainwright is going to do when he is at his absolute worst he's ever been in his career? And on the flip side, I keep wanting to believe in Graham Ashcraft. I really do. But all he does is continue to let me down. He relies on cutters and sliders to get outs. He's really got 2 pitches. Just hasn't worked. When the velocity difference is just 8 miles an hour, right? His cutters are on 96, 97, sliders 88 to 89. Hitters can just sit in a certain speed window, making ABs against Ashcraft just that much easier, right? Like, think about it. If you're at the plate and you don't have to worry about a 74 mile an hour curveball, you don't got to worry about 100 up in the zone. It's 96 to 88. You're seeing 2 pitches. It's a lot easier to sit on guys like that. So, like, what I want from Graham Ashcraft, and this isn't even a part of the bet, this is just me trying to put my coach's hat on, and there's no chance he listens to me, but maybe he does. He needs something soft. He needs like a 79 mile an hour changeup. He needs like a 76 mile an hour breaking ball. He needs to break up this speed difference because it's not working. He's rocking a 4.84 ERA this season, 4.51 xERA, and his walk rate has nearly spiked to 10%. He faced the Cardinals once last year, 9 hits, 4 runs, and 4 2/3. In May, the Cardinals rank as the number 1 offense against right-handed pitching in WRC Plus at 123 and number 2 in OPS at 814. Ashcraft is walking into a very tough matchup today. And then both bullpens heavily used yesterday in an extra innings battle. The Reds have 5 solid bullpen arms. They do. They're 5. But all were used yesterday. The best of the bunch, Buck Farmer and Alexis Diaz, threw at least 28 pitches yesterday. The Cardinals also used Book It Raid Bang. Hello, how you doing? We just went over the White Sox versus the Guardians, over 8 runs. Right now, I'm finishing up my pitch for the Cardinals versus the Reds over. And basically, we talked about both starting pitchers, right? Wainwright in Great American Ballpark is not a success story, right? You're not going to see it on E60. It's not a success story. It's been terrible. Graham Ashcraft on the other side is going up against the number 1 offense in baseball against righties. Good luck. Both bullpens were heavily used yesterday. Reds, those 5 solid bullpen arms, all used. The next 2, Buck Farmer, Alexis Diaz, the 2 best, both over 28 pitches yesterday. Cardinals also used 4 of their best relievers, Andre Palante and Ryan Helsley, 2 of their best, Ryan Helsley being their closer, throwing at least 23 pitches. Both bullpens are solid. They're not rested following these starters. Great American Ballpark is also the 2nd best hitters park after Coors Field, just in general, and it ranks 2nd in terms of the run scoring environment on Ballpark Pal, which we will go over the model in a second. It's supposed to be 80 degrees by game time. A little bit of clouds, but I ain't worried about it. Great day for baseball. Model has this game capped at 11, right? So you're seeing 10.5 right now, still worthy of a bet. If I see value, right? Because on the Guardians versus the Guardians versus the White Sox total, it's around 9, slight lean. It's probably like 8.8, something like that. This is straight up 11. You're still seeing value at 10.5. I got it at 9.5. And if we're just talking about line movement, right? Because the Book It crew is here and they want to hear about that juicy line movement. I respect that out of you because that means there's at least somebody with a brain on one side that the books respect. Think about this for a second. Guardians versus White Sox. Game ended 3-1 in the last time these 2 pitchers faced each other, which was 5 days ago. Yesterday's game ended 3-0. Why is it at 8 and going up to 8.5? Ask yourself that because I'm on the over. On the flip side, Reds versus Cardinals. 9.5 opener. Banged it. 1.2 units to win 1 unit. Now it's up to 10.5. There's a reason that's flying up because this game should end around 11. I think it's going to be higher. I think we're looking at an 8-7 game. I think it flies. Third pick, right? And then we got the model. Then we're going to welcome on all of our different MLB cappers. I appreciate everybody sticking around. Third pick is going to be the Atlanta Braves versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is a must-watch game, in part because you got Spencer Strider and the Atlanta Braves taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. But again, we are seeing today the next Hunter Green in Major League Baseball. At least that's what I think he is because he's fuel, 100 miles an hour, banger fastball, great slider. But rookie on the road. Let's talk about it. We are fading a rookie on the road in his debut. System has been very profitable this season, going 4-1-2. We got 2 pushes. Remember, the system is taking the first 5 money line, right? But at this current price, I ain't laying minus 200, right? Shout out Krabs. You lay 2 units on a minus 200 play. It's basically like you're laying minus 110. Shout out Krabs. You won't see me lay juice, but it's still worth a play through the first 5 minus half. So technically, it's not a system. That's why I'm not laying juice here. It's just going to be a 1-unit play. So let's talk about Bobby Miller, one of the most prized Dodgers pitching prospect. Must-watch game again. It's going to be 100 with fuel. But the reason I like it even more now is I was hoping the Dodgers would take game 1, and they did. Let's see you go into Truist Park in front of that fan base with a hungry Braves lineup. Let's see that adrenaline spike. I think it's going to happen today. So on justbaseball.com, we have so much information on Bobby Miller. And I don't want to spend so much time going through, his development. But here's the bottom line. He pitches in the PCL, the Pacific Coast League. In the minor leagues, that's basically the equivalent of pitching all of your games at Coors Field. ERA is always inflated, right? We talk about that a lot when we talk about fading rookies in their debut. So you can't take the ERA at face value. But he does have a 5.65 ERA and 14 1/3 in 4 starts in the PCL, right? Like, you can't take it at full face value, but it is a 5.65 ERA in AAA. The stuff is electric, but he's not doing particularly well this season in the minors. He projects to be a very good starter one. I have no doubt about it. Gavin Stone, another guy. No doubt about him moving forward. Early on, let's see how they do, especially in Truist. Like, those fans, when they're smelling a win and they smell fear, we'll see. And on the flip side, we have Spencer Strider, one of the best pitchers alive. He threw once against the Dodgers last season, tossing 6 shutout and striking out 7. Dodgers have a phenomenal offense overall. Very interested to see how they do against Strider. I think they'll be able to do fine, but I just have more faith in the Braves offense here. Braves should come out hungry, right? But the model is telling me that the first 5 minus a half should be minus 120. So we are on the wrong side of value, right? Because it's minus 145. That's why you don't see me laying juice. We're taking a moderate level of this system. We prefer it to be the first 5 money line. That's when we would lay the juice. We aren't. It's too expensive. But I still think that the Braves end up winning through 5. I have Spencer Strider. They have a rookie making his debut on the road. We'll see what happens. So the Braves, through the first 5, 1 unit at minus 145 to win 0.69 units. That's nice, right? 6.9. All right, let's move on. What do we got? The model? Ooh, let's bring out the model, right? We're going to go through all the different games. Would you play them at minus 150? Yes, I would. Just 1 unit to win whatever that is. Don't lay the juice. But where are you seeing minus 150? Did we get a little line move? Where are we looking at a little line move? Did we get one? I'm still seeing minus 145. Whatever. I don't know where you see minus 150, but regardless, let's continue. All right. Bring out the model. So this is the Ballpark Pal model. We got park factors, game simulations, and a matchup machine. The Book It Sports crew, while I respect your opinions, sometimes you call the model an L, and then you're holding urine in your hands. You're cupping it in your own hands like this. You're just holding your own urine because you disrespect the model. And the model takes names. So people have been in here. They know the model. They know the waddle, as people like to call it. Just don't hold your own urine in your hands. Don't do it. So if you're on something and the model hates it, take a deep breath. All right, let's get into it. What's the first game? All right, this game, very popular, right? You're going to hear our guy Krabs really liking the Nats today. I could see it. And as you could tell, a lot of value on this under. Obviously, I'm not a big fan. There is a lot of narratives in this game. Juan Soto coming back. Mackenzie Gore was a part of that deal. Yu Darvish on the road. Maybe a nerfy. It depends what it is. If the nerfy is minus 123, right, you're not seeing value. If it's minus 110, you are, But as you can see there, gives you a Yurfie and a Nerfie percentage for all you freaking psychopaths out there who love to cap your Nerfies. Not really a me thing, but again, it's up to you, right? If you're a psychopath, if you're a degenerate, if you like quick cash or quickly losing it, who am I to tell you not to do it, right? We're giving you some math here. So depending on what the line is, could a Nerfie be in play? Could the under be in play? Too much variance for me to even touch this game. A lot of revenge narratives here. It's just going to be a game where I watch and have a good time, maybe have a Guinness, maybe a bottle of water. Maybe a bottle of water. All right, let's go on to the next game. All right, this game is fascinating, right? Tons of value on the under based on the model. Tons. It's almost to the point where it has to be an auto bet. Why Guinness, Pete? That's my favorite beer. It's not favorite like casual beer. Favorite like you're at, you're sitting down. Love a good Guinness. Look, Javon. Look at this. Look at this, my friend. Look at this. Another one. But remember, yesterday, the thing is, Javon, and I know you're listening, said the same thing yesterday. Same thing yesterday. It had the model at 6.5 yesterday. For some reason, this is adjusting, and it's basically making American Family Field, Wrigley Field with wind blowing in. Right? Because if the roof is open, they're basically saying that the wind is going to have a huge effect on this game. I still like this under, but seeing what happened yesterday, the Astros putting up 12, maybe then this is just a good underplay. Javon's going to come pitch it in a bit, so I'm not going to get into it too much. But what I will say is the model loved the under yesterday. It ended at 14 runs, so L model. And today it's doing it again. That's why for me, it's not an auto bet. Like I look at these two teams and I look at the bullpens arrested. I like the under, but again, I'm not taking it, but you're going to hear a couple of pitches that may influence you and the model backs it up. What about play number 3? Right? Twins versus Giants. Seen a lot of smart people that I respect like this over. As you can tell, the model disagrees, right? We're looking at a 7 line for this game. And I guess it's rather contrarian, right? Total's moving up. I think it opened at 7.5, if I'm not mistaken, going up to 8. We've seen that happen before where sharp movement and then the play ends up losing, right? That's where a lot of the L model has come in when it has been on the opposite side of sharp movement. Not all sharp movement wins, right? I'm not a big fan of this over today. I understand you're like, well, can Cobb and Gray keep doing it? I just do not believe in this Twins offense at all. I know they basically did nothing yesterday, so maybe they bounce back today. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I'm not playing anything in this game, so, I'm just letting you know my mindset surrounding this game. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of this game. As you can tell, no real value on the money line. No real value on first 5. They do like the Twins, I guess, which would make sense in a bounce back spot, but it's not something that I'll be on. So there you go, though. So people are going to pitch the over. Model likes the under. You decide what you like, right? That's the only point of the show, is to give you both sides to help you make the best informed decision possible in order to win money as much as we can on an MLB slate. The goal is to win more than we lose, right? So if there's plays that are conflicting, right? You hear a really good pitch for the over, model likes the under, you're not really sure, stay off it. Rome wasn't built in one day. We got a 162 game season. NBA is about to end because I know none of you people are betting on the finals. What? Heat, Nuggets, Heat +4. You don't like that bet. Be honest. You hate that bet. Game 1, Heater +4 on the road in Denver. Like what? You betting on it? No. You know what you should be betting on? Guardians, White Sox. That lights it up. That lights it up. Ben Braggy, subscribe with Prime. What a stud. Love Nuggets -4. No, you don't. Shut up. All right, let's move on to the next game of the model. Denver will be on 7. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Basketball is lame unless LeBron's in it. Oh, we just said 3. We got Krabs in the queue. Let's get straight to it, ladies and gentlemen, because I know he's got to go for a corp call. Krabs.
W's.
W's.
How we doing? I'm swimming in that model urine you were talking about.
Swimming in the model urine currently, but people are chirping you for the Phillies, and honestly, rightfully so. What I also say is, Nobody's talking about that Pirates at plus money bet.
Nobody's talking about it.
It's like, oh, Crabs, Phillies, you're a dumbass. You went 1-1. Yeah, you lost a unit. Pirates at plus money?
Sure. That was free. It was always the Pirates.
It was always the Pirates. At a baby.
And I know we got to keep tempo and pace. I got to run here in a minute. All right. But we got 3 plays today, all 2 units, all winners, hopefully. But how I see this going is we go 2-1, and hopefully we're up a unit or 2. How about it?
Why not us? Also, I want to, people are saying that I lost cool points for saying basketball is lame. Keep your cool points. Basketball is lame. I like college basketball. Big Syracuse guy. I love my Knicks. But if you think the NBA is a good product, I'm taking your cool points away. All right, Krabs, get into it.
I agree. College basketball is better.
It is better.
Let's get into baseball plays, though. All right. We got a game starting up in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Wainwright versus Ashcraft. These guys have been scum on the mound recently, atrocious. We're taking the over here. It might be a square over, one of the squarest plays I'll take, but this reminds me of the birthday Megalodon last year, right? When Bumgarner's up on the bump, past his prime, it's a square over, but the total's moving up, and next thing you know, there's 15 runs, right? Same type of situation here.
That was one of the greatest bets of all time. Just
that was a good cash.
Dude, when I put that out and I was like, and we were texting in the morning, the entire internet tailed that play.
100%.
It was 100%. Incredible.
And we celebrated like kings, as we should. Hopefully we have similar results tonight.
That's why sometimes I'm afraid of like giving a max. I haven't yet. And like, if I give a max play, like it's almost scary.
It's not your responsibility.
It's not my responsibility.
It's not gambling advice.
It's not even gambling advice anyway. Good point.
No,
Good point.
That's the crazy part. Right?
Did you look into Wainwright at Great American Ballpark? How horrendous he's been throughout his career?
I know it's bad. I've seen it on ESPN. I just know that, following the sport.
Yeah.
Didn't have to look into that. I know he's atrocious there. He's going to be atrocious there tonight against this Reds lineup. And to be honest with you, I think it's going to be more Ashcraft giving up runs with how he's looked to this Red Hot Cardinals offense. So I like the over in that game. Tempo and pace. Give me the Nats plus 1.5 at home. Totals down from 8.5 to 8. I think both pitchers bounce back here and pitch relatively well after some bad starts from each of them. And like you already mentioned, this one means more to Mackenzie Gore. Sure, it does. It just simply does. Pitching against his old team who drafted him, didn't want him, not accurate enough. We'll throw him away for Soto. How about CJ Abrams? He can't play defense, all over the place, inconsistent, raw. We don't want him. We don't need him. We'll take Soto. Well, those guys are red hot this season. They're overperforming. CJ Abrams has seen the ball great at the plate. Don't you think this game means a little bit more for those guys? And don't you think Davey Martinez wants to beat Juan Soto as he returns home, not for the first time, but for the first time since the Nats have not been the worst team in baseball? Now we're actually competitive. First time since then.
I wish Josh Bell was still in the Padres just for this game. And then he could go 100%. Back to the Guardians. I just want that whole trade to be in this game.
He might be in the minor league soon, though. So who knows? I mean, he's atrocious. Absolutely terrible. But I think Gore deals, low-scoring game. Nats lose 3-10.
Yeah, I won't waste any of your time just letting you know. Aram is on the 3,000 hit counter for CJ Abrams. Has loved him for so long. So every single time he gets a hit, he'll put a little counter. He's like 2,978 more. Loves CJ Abrams.
And he knows ball.
He knows ball like, yeah, I agree.
Just wait till James Wood gets here, boys. And then last play, all right, Giants, Twins, over 8. You mentioned it about the model, okay? I like this over. I do. I know it's up a run. The total is with these two stud pitchers. Gray's been one of the best pitchers in baseball, debatably the best this season. Both have sub-2 ERAs. Both, I think, are a little fraudulent. I know the wind's blowing out. That should help. Honestly, God knows these offenses need it with how bad they've been. And I'm riding this sharp over here with good splits, with that total moving up, even with the winds. I think that's still crazy with a total of 8 with those two arms on the bump.
All 2-unit plays.
All 2 units. We're going to go 2-1 at worst, and we're going to make at least a unit of profit. That's the game plan for today. That's the recipe, Pete.
I like it. Hey, just keep winning.
Don't need to show that. Don't need to show that up on the screen. But
hey, W transparency.
Sure. As always, Pete. I got to run. Okay. Good luck today on the bets, and let's go Nats. All right.
Let's go Nats.
Let's go Nats.
Screw Graham Ashcraft and Adam Wainwright. How about a 70-run game?
Yeah. How about it? Nats. Let's win the trade and let's win today. All right.
Let's win the trade and let's win today. Good stuff. Talk to you soon, my friend. All right. Yeah. Krabs is not last. The 2-unit play, obviously you heard him. Remember, this is early. We're early. It's going to be like this. I'm currently at number 1. I could be at number 7 in a couple of weeks. You never know, right? I don't plan on that happening. I'm planning on winning all 3 of my bets today. But you never know. It's a long season. It's a 162-game schedule. There will be ups and there will be downs. Comment for me? Just faded all three now on Bezos. Show your ticket. Rampage. What are we looking at here? What is it? Let me see. Totals that closed down minus the half runs are minus 15.9% ROI historical. That's a lot of numbers. Open at 9, went down. Closing line. So, Rampage, are you saying my bets are good? 8 to 8.5, 9.5 to 10.5. Is that good? My friend? UNLV 94 just subbed with Prime. What a beast. Not a baby. Let's go just baseball. Let's go you. Let's go you, my friend. Who else? Do we got anyone in queue right now? Producer Cohen? Nobody in queue right now. Feel free to fire your questions in. We'll get people. Many number, big headache. Yeah, my brain can't handle that right now. Thoughts on Marlins or Perez strikeouts? Very popular play. Could bounce back. It's saying you want to fade the line movement. Hasn't been. Are you sure? Like you want to fade line movement? Yeah, what game do you guys want for the model? Thoughts on Jays Rays? Let's pull it up on the model. We'll pull it up on the model for you guys. Yanks money line 2 units. Scary. Are you giving out 10.5 or 9.5 for cards red? So again, I make my bets the night before, right? I try and beat these line moves. So my pick is 9.5. It's the play I'm on, but I think it goes over 10.5. But the play I'm on is 9.5. Is 10.5 still worth a full unit? Yeah. I mean, I like Krabs is on over 10. He's got 2 units on it. If you can only find 10.5, I mean, the model caps it at 11, right? The model has it at 11. So you're still seeing value there. The model loves the A's. What are your thoughts? They love the A's every day. I'm sick of that. Yeah. Blue Jays versus Rays. As you can tell, model's a good fan of the Rays. Absolutely. They have them winning 61.1% of the time. They also have a slight lean towards the over. Not much, but they like it. And it's cashed in 3 straight Rays games, which we have been on all of them. Shout out us. Shout out the community being on these Rays over. My worry is that St. Louis Cincinnati over seems a little square. Yeah, I mean, I think the term sharp and square gets thrown out a lot. And yeah, I mean, if you think it's square when the matchup plays for it, like not every bet is going to win. But all I hear about is that, you have to be contrarian in baseball. This is how I bet. It's been very profitable over multiple seasons. You play the numbers. Baseball is a data-driven game. And when you know the data, Wainwright historically in Great America is not good. Ashcraft doesn't match up well. Bullpens are not rested. If it doesn't go over, it doesn't go over. But just calling it square, yeah, I guess. But it moved a run. So I think it would be square if I bet over 9.5 and went down to 9. And I was like, I just think it's going over. When it moves like that, what were your plays today, Pete? Thought the show was at 4:30. Yeah, I went over them at 4:30. It's the Guardians versus the White Sox over 8. It's the Cardinals versus the Reds over 9.5. And it is the Braves through the first 5. Has anyone pitched rookies game over? Model hates. Not sure what you're talking about. 2 more games on the model? Yeah. Let's just keep going with the model while we're waiting for people to come in queue. So this is Rangers versus Pirates. I think the total is pretty spot on. Remember, sometimes when we go over the model, I don't really bring you guys plays that the model's not really showing value on. So for a game like this, right? Minus 155, minus 160 for the Rangers. Totals that close down half runs are negative 15.9%. Yeah, which is good. None of our plays are today. So we got Rangers versus Pirates. Not much. Maybe you just fade the Pirates today. Rangers just blow them out. Rangers have been incredible against lefties. Eovaldi has been a stud. But Javon made a really good point yesterday about the Pirates really taking advantage of guys who rely on control. And Eovaldi doesn't walk anybody. That's why it's like I'm surprised that it's not showing any value on the over here. I would think the over would be a good play. But again, total ain't budged. Model doesn't like it. Not worthy of a play. Baseball sense, that makes sense. But then we also got the Mariners versus the A's. And another time where the model is just obsessed with the A's. And it's like, damn it, model. Can you relax? Can you relax? Right? It likes the A's every single time. It likes the A's every single time. And I, like, the Mariners should kill him. I know it's Marco, but Luis Medina ain't that guy. But maybe another reason to show you. It's currently under 9 at BetMGM at minus 120. Let's see what it is now. Let's see what it is now. It's still at 9 at minus 120. So it is showing value on the under for that game. I just have a hard time betting an under when you got Luis Medina and Marco Gonzalez going against each other. And the A's, to Matt3PT's point in chat, A's kind of decent against lefties, though. Absolutely. So maybe the A's plus 1.5 is not a bad bet after getting just destroyed. But you are betting on the Oakland A's, who are 10-39. Do you think Blue Jays money line is worth a look? Line looks very short with Barrios on the bump, given how bad he's been with the Rays being so dominant at home. I do not. I would lean the Rays. The model likes the Rays. It's short because you got Taj Bradley, who is a relative rookie. And you got Barrios, who's been better. But, like, the Rays are just better than the Blue Jays. They just are. Now, could the Blue Jays bounce back after yesterday? Absolutely. Am I betting on the Blue Jays? Absolutely not. I would definitely lean the Rays. Again, not betting on it, but I would give a strong look to the Rays. I know the behind-the-line squad ride, I think, is the Rays' money line, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I saw that. Taj Bradley is good, though, better than Barrios. You know that. I don't know if the general public knows that. So I agree with you. I think Taj is better than him. Give me a dinger for tonight, Pete. How about... Who's going to go yard? Jake Fraley's going yard. What are his odds? That was a complete gut pick. I'm going with Jake Fraley. What are his odds? What are your odds, Mr. Fraley? Player props. Home runs. Jake Fraley is plus 625. It's kind of tasty. Matt McClain is plus 450 at home run. He might be that guy. Is Fraley in the lineup? Plus 470 for you? Is he in the lineup? Let's make sure he's in the lineup. He's hitting 4th. Yeah, he's going yard today. What did the model say about Rockies versus Marlins? Producer Cone, can we pull the Rockies versus Marlins one? Absolutely. Oh, wow. FanDuel robbing me. Get BetMGM, my friend. Use our code JBFans. You get free bonus bets. Code is JBFans. Oh, yeah. Let's do Orioles-Yankees on the model real quick. All right. As you can tell, some value on the Orioles money line. Not much, though. But it likes the over. Or at least it's got a slight lean towards the over at 7.5. I guess you could consider this kind of a contrarian-ish over, right? Bradish has been awesome. Garrett Cole is that dude. Possibly. Nothing to ride home about, but is certainly worth considering. Anyone have any thoughts on this over? Could be something. Yankees money line, easy free cash. There is no such thing as that, my friend. But I think we got, and this is, the model did a refresh with Tyler McGill. Still slightly towards the under. Mega wind blowing in. Slightly towards the Cubs on the money line. Again, not much. They wanted Rockies versus Marlins. But yeah, as you can see, not much value in this game. Thinks the total and money line are pretty spot on. Maybe just go with the Cubs. Right? Little bit of value there. And it's been moving up, though. We starting to see 8.5s in the market. Interesting. Maybe I could be wrong there if someone could fact check me on that one. And what else we got? Rockies, Marlins. All right, as you can tell, Model's a big fan of this under again. Model's a big fan of the under again at 11.5. The only problem is it's moved from 11 to 11.5. So very similar to the Giants versus the Giants Twins. We have a line movement towards the over, and the model likes the under. As you can see, Model's a decent fan of the Marlins on the money line. Anyone have a read on this one? Yuri Perez versus Austin Gomber. Yeah, Senga was supposed to pitch today, and then McGill got slated for today, and Senga is pitching tomorrow. A little bit of value here on the Marlins. They have not been a very good offense against lefties, but it is Austin Gomber. And Austin Gomber in Coors Field is not a recipe for success. And you got Yuri making his, third career start in Coors Field? We'll see how he does. Let's get to mid-major. Now we got people starting coming in queue. Let's get to the bets portion of this. How'd you do yesterday?
Not great, and neither did Corbin Burns. So I'm on the same boat as him. I will say the one play I'm probably most proud of, the best baseball play I made was the Nerfy. And that was no sweat, Peter.
That was sharp. That was actually sick.
Dude, there was no sweat.
You're not a guy who's always bringing up a Nerfy, and it's like, you hit one, good for you. That was you've been on the stream 70,000 times this season already. Yeah. That was your first one. It was plus money. You had line movement, and it smacked with ease, and it made
smacked.
Great play.
Yeah. Not great yesterday, though. I put all my eggs in the Corbin Burns basket, and that guy continually just steals my eggs. So perhaps no more.
Mustache Colby kind of owns you. He's on Astros money line.
Mustache Colby. I mean, yeah, he's down 20 units. I'm down 5, so he does currently still own me.
Colby's gonna come on stream and he's gonna rebuttal that. He's gonna be like, "Hey, new stash, new me, new picks. Let's hear your picks today, though."
Absolutely. Producer Cohen, I can't see you. What's the first one we got on the board?
Get into your first pick and we'll throw up the graphic for you.
Okay.
So how are you feeling?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first one I'm going off of is actually the Rays' first 5 -0.5. This has seen a little less movement the opposite way now that Yandy Diaz is out.
True.
But if you're telling me Taj Bradley opens up as a favorite against the Toronto Blue Jays and Jose Barrios, I don't care about the Rays' record. It's Taj Bradley. No one knows who this guy is outside of just baseball and everyone who does that kind of dive in that deep into baseball. That's really high respect for the Rays offense and Taj Bradley. I think he pitches very well today. Jose Barrios has seen this lineup once already this year, or I should say this lineup has seen Jose Barrios once already this year, and they didn't do that much. So as we all say, this positive regression or the negative regression is after he allowed 1 earned run in 5 innings. I think Jose Barrios gets touched up today for sure. His road splits obviously support this. He has been awful on the road this year. And the Tropicana, again, it's not the easiest place to play. And for defenses with that weird turf, the ball bounces oddly sometimes. And I expect Bradley to pitch pretty decent in the first 5. And as we know, the Jays, I think, are bottom 5 in the league with their average in runners in scoring position. I believe that's true.
I think you're right. I mean, they've just been terrible lately.
They've been awful, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's Vladdy, it's Springer, it's Varsho. Yeah. It's like a lot of their lineup is just not really getting much production today. Yeah. I wanted to force another Rays Jays over because I've bet on the Rays over in 3 straight days, and it's 3-0.
There you go.
Today, though, we'll see.
And is that because you think Bradley pitches fairly well?
Yes. I mean, you know me. I'm a huge fan of Taj Bradley, but I think Barrios has moderate success today. I think it's like Bradley. I think you win this bet, personally. I think Bradley throws like 5 innings, 2 runs, and I think Barrios is 6 innings, 3 runs. Yeah. And I think you win it late, and then I think this is like a 5-3 Rays win, I think.
Yeah. The one I actually did like the full game under. The only reason I didn't want to do it is because as you've alluded, you've been hitting Rays overs just 3 straight days in a row. That Rays bullpen is just so injured right now. It is just riddled with injuries.
It's weird. It's not that good outside of Fairbanks and Adam. Like Fairbanks and Adam, I think, are legit. Fairbanks, of course, give up runs yesterday. Yeah. But when you look at the rest, it's like Zach Littell.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor Kelly. Colin Fauché.
Yeah, they lost Clevenger for the year as well. And it's just torn up. So
it's just not I mean, the rest of their team is so damn good. So it's like whatever, but everyone has a weakness, and like it's a little bit of weakness there.
And it's funny
I
because
like how you're playing it early.
yes, it's funny because you're only 25, but would you ever think you would live to see the day where the Rays bats were regarded higher than their pitching staff? Not I.
No, I mean, the way history has unfolded this season, I thought it'd be likely just because I'm one of the biggest Yandy Diaz guys. Love Wander, love Randy, love, I even love Bethencourt. Like, I think a lot of these guys are really good. But I agree, historically, like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
Doesn't feel right. Anyways, second play, number 2. The Padres money line. I'm laying the juice, minus 150. I don't know if Krabs talked about it, the playoff atmosphere in Washington, D.C. tonight. I don't know how much of a playoff atmosphere D.C. has nowadays, but I will say for a home dog, this is probably the best spot you would hope for in a pitcher that was traded away from the franchise that drafted you against the team that also got the player they drafted you for in Juan Soto and Mackenzie Gore. Mackenzie Gore has been lights out this season as to what we saw him tail off at the end of last year. He's a huge strikeout guy. He's looked fantastic. But after Harvey, Finnegan, and Edwards in the Nats bullpen, it's really bad. And I don't think they pitched today. If I don't think they pitch today, I think the Padres win this by at least 2 runs. Laying the juice, though. Darvish got lit up his last start, and not many people want to back you, Darvish, on the road, and not many people want to back the Padres at all. So I'll take them. I'll take the bite. The home dog and Mackenzie Gore, who's been pitching lights out against his old team that drafted him, sounds like a good narrative. I'm not taking it.
I get it, my man. And it's cool. I mean, Krabs on Nats plus 1.5, so technically you could both win.
Yeah.
Padres win in a one-run game.
Yeah.
And you're at minus 155 now.
Yeah, so there's movement. There obviously is some decent money in the Nats, so I do like it being steamed. At the same time, though, it's Fernando Tatis and Juan Soto, so it could just be natural steam as opposed to respected money. But it's still the side I'm on. I'll still stand by it.
Good stuff.
And being on the road, we get 27 outs of that lineup. Not saying they're all good quality outs, but it's something with a $500 million payroll. It's something.
I think they've scored 10 more runs than the A's have this season.
Yeah, it's been god awful. I've taken them a couple times. I'm probably about 500 on my bets on them, but they just, good God, man.
When they're good, it's like, oh my God, this is the easiest bet ever. They're the best team in baseball. When the bet is going bad, it's like, is this team better than the Rockies? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it took them for Corey Kluber for them to start scoring runs in the Boston series. And outside of that, I think they scored 0 runs. Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know what to do with you, but I'm glad that you're on the Padres. I don't know. I think it's going to be a fun game. Like, it's such a revenge narrative type game that it could just be Padres blow them out.
No, sure.
What else are you on?
Yeah, for sure. But I do like the under though. So I do like, if I was to play the dog in some way, it would be the Nats plus 1.5.
Cool.
So I do like Krabs' play there, but I'm laying the juice because I do think the Padres win.
Cool. What play number 3? 3-unit bomb.
Yeah. I don't feel good about it. I'm still uneasy about to poop out my chicken sandwiches I had for lunch. But it's, man, you've talked about it. This same matchup happened 4 days ago, and what's his name? Logan Allen pitched not well, but he just somehow only allowed 1 earned run. I had the White Sox in the first 5, and they had 8 runners left on base in the first 5 innings. They had 5 runners left in scoring position in those first 5 innings, and Logan Allen just found a way out of it. I don't know how. I mean, it's the White Sox being the White Sox, but after that game ended 3-1, and now we see a total of 8.5 after opening at 8. It tells me that they think the White Sox start scoring runs, and that positive regression comes, and they have the bases loaded again with no outs, and they somehow don't score 0 runs because that's just what the White Sox do. But they actually find a way to score off of that. And are we still doing the Tuesday Prize Picks play?
Yeah. No one else has submitted a play, but again, if you have a Prize Pick square that you want to put in, and we can do a community entry, go ahead.
Okay, good. So that is very correlated to this. I could talk about baseball reasons for this. The White Sox, they've not done much offensively in the past month. What they have done, though, is hit lefties. They just saw this lefty 4 days ago, and the lefty threw over 100 pitches for the first time in the major league career, and he's off a short rest. I do not think he pitches well today. We know Logan Allen's it's been pretty well noted. 400 OPS first time through the order. Fantastic. You know what his OPS through the second time through the order is, Peter?
Isn't it 900 something?
Over 1,000. So the White Sox got to him last start. I know you're on the over for this game, so I know you like the White Sox bats. Maybe not this specific play, but it's because you don't think Logan Allen specifically pitches well.
I agree. I don't think Cease pitches well either. Like, I think
I don't either. Yeah.
I don't know who's going to win, but I had this game ending 5-4. So
yeah, and I mean, opening 8 after they just scored 3-1 off the same pitching matchup, off of the expected runs in that game was pretty high. So I'm riding with that trend. At the same time, my prize picks play, it's actually one of my favorite books plays as well. It's Logan Allen under 16.5 pitching outs. Baseball reasons. They don't want to send him the second or third. They don't want to send him 3 times through the order. We just know that. Just in everyday starts. Now, on top of that, against a lineup that just saw him 4 days ago, he already has trouble facing people more than once in the game. Now, more than once in a week is not great news for him. Now, with that, there have been 3 straight Guardian pitchers that have pitched quality starts. So that healthy, rested bullpen that still has pretty good arms, they're rested. And if they have any chance of winning this game, they're gonna have to pull Logan Allen. And if you're telling me Logan Allen has pitched, it's a weird little props. It's a weird prop little angle. Anytime he's pitched over this line at 16.5, he's never gone over the next start. So there's no baseball logic behind that, but it's just, the more he pitches, the more people are starting to see that fastball that's not that great. Then his expected stats are not that great. So against a terrible White Sox lineup that just saw him, I expect him not to do so well today. And the Guardians they had a day off 3 days ago, and they have a day off 2 days from now. So that rested Guardians bullpen is only going to be more rested, and they're not afraid to pull him, in my opinion. So under 16.5 is my prize picks play.
Love it, my man. We're going to play it in some facet. Appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother.
All right? Peace.
Thank you.
Good stuff. All right. Now we got Colbert Olson responding to mid-major Matt saying you're down 20 units when Mustache Colby is 4-1. What is your response to that egregious call out?
I mean, is he really that worried about me that he has to punch down on the leaderboard?
Wow.
It's a little messed up, especially after I'm 4-1 with the mustache. I just take it as a sign of fear. He's scared that I am right on his tail. And if his 3-unit play doesn't hit tonight, I might be above him tonight.
People are starting to say that mid-major Matt is just projecting, just scared. And he's like, I see this man who kind of looks like Dylan Cease's like little brother that he puts into a locker. And he's like, this guy's making good picks. I'm afraid of him.
I'm here to raise up the community. I want everybody to win. There's no need for it.
There's no need for it. But you don't really want everyone in the competition to win. You want to win.
Yeah, I just want to make some money.
All right, let's get into it. What do you got today?
Yeah, I'm on 3 picks today. I've been pretty picky, as you know, the last few days on stream. But I have 3 plays today. I like this board a lot. It's a pretty big board, so I did find a lot of value. But I'll start with the Reds-Cardinals game because this is a pick or a game that you're also on. I'm attacking it a little differently, Pete. I'm going to take the first 5 over, which is at 5.5. I grabbed this morning at -105, and it's now moved to -110, which makes me feel pretty good.
I think it's at -115 now.
Oh, wow. So it just keeps on moving. That's good. Love to see that. I still like it at -115. I think this, there should be 7 runs in the first 5 here. But the reason I like the first 5 here is I'm just isolating Graham Ashcraft and Adam Wainwright. I'll dive into Graham Ashcraft first because I think the Wainwright explanation is pretty simple and straightforward. But Ashcraft is interesting because he was a pitcher that at the beginning of the season, the first 5 starts looked so good. So good. He was throwing 98-mile-an-hour cutters and a slider that, has decent numbers, getting a 30% whiff rate. But that's the only 2 pitches he throws. And he has a sinker that he doesn't really use. And when you're only throwing one direction, it's very easy to sit on it. So he's kind of experiencing the Tanner Houck effect right now is what I'm going to call it. He's a starter right now that maybe should be a reliever because you look at his numbers the first time through the order, he has a 1.8 ERA against. Second time through the order, it gets a little worse, 4.15 ERA. And then the third time through that order, he has an 11.45 ERA against this year. But then I dove a little bit deeper, Pete, into his numbers in May and why he's been struggling so much. He's giving up a lot more hard contact. His hard hit rate against the slider has increased this month to 32%, up from 23% in April. And then the cutter, which he throws the most of any pitch, has been giving up a 42% hard hit rate versus 36% in April. So some really bad underlying metrics for Ashcraft, as well as just a bad ERA and 2 blow-up starts. But, facing a Cardinals lineup that doesn't let up 1 through 9, I have to imagine that Ashcraft is going to struggle here again. Maybe not in the first inning, but I think he will struggle in the first 5 innings here, and I could see 3 to 4 earned runs against him. But then, yes, you have Adam Wainwright on the other side of things. And I think it's as simple as this man has an 8.44 expected ERA this year, and he's throwing Pete. What have I been saying to you for years now, right? We want pitchers to throw their best pitch more.
Oh, I thought you were going to let me say it. I love when you give me that layup. Throw your best pitches more.
Right? Wainwright's doing the exact opposite of that. He's throwing his curveball less, and he's throwing a sinker that is now 87 miles an hour, down from 88.5 last year. He's throwing that sinker 37% of the time this year. It's up 10% from last year. That pitch is letting a 455 expected WOBA against this year. So while the Reds might not be the greatest offense alive, right? They only have a 712 OPS at home this year. What's their OPS against 87 mile an hour sinkers?
It's got to be pretty good. And considering that Wainwright's literally never had a good outing in his career at Great American. How many years has he been pitching? 60?
What?
How many years has he been in the league? 60?
Just about, man. I'm a little shocked because the curveball has been his best pitch for years, and that's kind of how he stayed alive, 35 to 40 years old of age. Like, he stayed alive because he can command that curveball. But even the curveball hasn't performed as well this year. I believe the expected WOBA on that pitch this year is at 350. So that's up from where it was last year as well. I think the magic on Wainwright is quickly coming to an end, and I would think that this is his last season, and his last time pitching in Great American Ballpark, he hopes.
I totally agree. Let's get to more plays. You got more.
Cool. Yep. I got, this is probably the one that I'm most scared of. Rays Jays over 8.5 at -115. I grabbed this one at -105 last night, but it moved to -115 this morning. So I'll play it there for the stream. And you look at the lineup for the Rays, it's pretty self-explanatory. They are missing Yandy Diaz tonight, but I don't even think that matters because who do you put in his place? You put Taylor Walls and Luke Raley in their place, and both of those guys have been mashing too. They have WRC pluses of near 150 over the last month, so it doesn't really matter even if Yandy Diaz isn't in the lineup. Just to break down the pitchers in this matchup, Taj Bradley has been leading on his fastball a lot more, which I don't think is a recipe for success. Last time out, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks. He hasn't been getting as many whiffs as he was when he first came up, so I'm wondering if maybe there's something that teams have found in the scouting report as he's pitched more. But you're going up against a Blue Jays lineup that is pretty dang unrelenting. Brandon Belt has finally come alive, Pete. He has a 214 WRC plus in his last 15 games.
Finally.
Ridiculous. So they're unrelenting. And then on the other side of the ball, obviously you have Jose Barrios, who the home runs have finally hit Barrios. Like, his first 5 starts, I think he only gave up 1 home run, and you knew it was coming, right? You knew the hard contact was coming, and he faced Boston, Atlanta, and New York, and then the home runs started coming. He did shove against the Rays in his first outing against them this year, but I have to believe that this Rays lineup can catch up to Jose Barrios in this one. But beyond just the starting pitching here, like, if both of those guys go 5 innings and say there's only 3 or 4 runs scored, like, I still like this over because both of these bullpens have been so damn bad, Pete. The Blue Jays bullpen, they're a little bit rested coming to this, but they were used a lot over the weekend. So I feel like they're still a little bit tired from the weekend. It's only Tuesday. They have a 4.83 ERA and a 4.49 SIERA over the last 14 days.
Ugh.
And then the Rays, as I heard you talking with Mid-Major about, like, they've been so bad too.
Kind of bad. It's just nobody I'm afraid of outside of the top 2.
Dude, they have a 6.51 ERA and a 4.96 SIERA in their last 14 days.
People aren't talking about that.
So that's the pitch there. Good line moving in my direction, and just one of those, like, I like I just like it. I don't think Taj Bradley is there yet, especially against a really good lineup. But this is probably the bet I'm most scared of. Like I know you've been on it 3 days straight. I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, I was considering again this morning, and we talked about it. I'm like, we'll see. But we got more plays, right?
I got one more.
Play number 3.
Yeah, I think this is actually my favorite play of the day. Houston, Milwaukee, under 9.5. It's at -115 right now. The line opened at -105 and moved a little bit in my direction, which I'm happy about. But, this is a weird one, right? You have Colin Rea going up against JP France, and there were a billion runs scored by the Astros last night, who are seemingly heating up, but I wonder how much of that is actually just like impacted by last night. Colin Rea, I'll start there because I don't know how many people know much about Colin Rea. But he was not great in his last 2 starts before kind of taking a little break. He's coming off 9 days of rest, which is why I really like this. But he's a fly ball pitcher that throws 4 pitches. I don't want to say Cal Quantrill, but like he gives off those vibes, man, where like he doesn't have anything about him that I'm very excited about, but he has the ability to just kind of string together 5 or 6 innings of like 2-run ball. And I think that's what he does tonight. He's on Prize Picks right now at 2.5 earned runs, which I almost want to take that under. I think he gives up 2 runs over 5 innings. And then this Brewers bullpen should be rested after not really using any of their top guys last night. And then you have JP France facing, this is the reason I really like the play. The Astros offense has been heating up, especially without Altuve back. I think the Astros score 5 or 6. They could score 5 or 6 runs in this game. And I still think this goes under because this Brewers offense has been so bad the last month, right? They have an OPS of 680 the last 14 days. If you go further than that, it's right around the same. And JP France did not pitch well in his last outing. In his first 2 outings, he did pitch well. And I think the reason that is he used his 4-seam fastball nearly 50% in his last outing. Before that, he was using more cutter usage. So I'm hoping they realize that, and he uses more cutter usage tonight. He has a slider with a 30% whiff rate and a curveball with a 50% whiff rate. So I think France should have a good time mowing down this Brewers lineup. And the Astros didn't use their bullpen last night. Yeah. So they're super rested. They were rested last night. They're going to be like uber rested.
You're going to get Montero, Abreu, Presley. Good night.
Yes. Like maybe more than that. They could realistically go to JP France for 4 or 5 innings here, go to the bullpen and like good night. So that's the reason I like this. It's a lot of breathing room at 9.5.
Good stuff, my friend. Mustache Colby. We got more people in queue. Appreciate you coming on, my friend. Keep rolling.
Appreciate you, man. Good luck.
Train don't stop. Good luck to you. Best of luck. We'll talk soon. Before we welcome Gino, right? It's Ben. It's Ben from Capwise. Can you flash the leaderboard? I see a lot of stuff in the comments about like, oh, everyone's down. So this is the leaderboard, right? I'm up almost 13. Jake's up almost 8. Tomas up 7. Javon, Gino, they're both up. And as you can tell, everybody's like a little bit below average. Like the difference between 6 and 14 in this competition is 5 units. Now, Krabs, Colby, and California Wager have not gotten off to good starts this season. But again, it's May 23rd or May 22nd, whatever day it is. There will be changes. If Krabs goes 3-0 with 2-unit plays today, he's right back in the competition. So we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm leading the pack. Might not in a week, right? There's going to be ups and downs. Tomas was leading the pack for almost the entire show. Now he's got off a little bit. He'll be back. So will Jake. Javon's going to go on a heater. Gino is about to come on and give us a bunch of plays. Ben is someone who I greatly respect. He's in 14th. You know that dude's going to end this year positive. So let's welcome it on because we got to start making it positive. What's up, my friend? How are you? Oh, goats are muted.
There we go. My first time ever on stream, just we're working out the kinks. Yeah. No, I was just saying, man, I'm in a great mood. My Denver Nuggets, man.
Hey, shout out Jokic.
Shout out Jokic, man.
My friend yesterday, and I don't know if you were listening to the stream, but my friend was he's like, I'm putting a unit on the Lakers because if the Lakers lose, I lose my $100. And if LeBron loses, he loses his legacy. So who's the real loser? And I was like,
yeah,
that's your mindset.
There you go. And you know what?
Lost.
Now, I mean, there's rumors about him retiring.
Yeah.
Maybe LeBron will go play baseball for a year.
Can you imagine?
You know what?
Imagine if we were like LeBron's in the bullpen tonight. Like he's throwing 96.
I mean, hey, if LeBron's coming down third base, I know you can't like steamroll over catchers anymore, but I'm getting out of the way.
It's crazy. I think Judge is as big as him. Judge is 6'7", 280. LeBron 6'8", 260.
Yeah, pretty wild, man.
Wild.
Let's
get in your place. What do you got?
Yes. So kind of different approach for me today, but I think you'll like it, hopefully. I'm basically playing a first 5 over and also a full game over and just kind of spreading 2 units across each.
Okay, cool.
I guess it's a little more than 2 units, but to win 2 units. And I'm going off an angle that I've used a lot. You've heard me talk about it. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a really interesting one because Yuri Perez, right? He's a highly regarded prospect, number 1 in the Marlins organization.
Number 1 pitching prospect in the game.
Yeah. I mean, he's legit. Like, I think we all know that.
He's a baby Sandy.
Exactly. No one's denying that. But what is interesting, though, is he is making let me start over. Yuri Perez will be the youngest starter in Coors Field history tonight at 20 years old and 38 days. So I'm really curious what's going to happen. But I think what makes me comfortable playing an over here is not only his youth and his first time playing in Coors, but on the other side too with Gomber. Because I think at the end of the day, one of these guys is going to get lit up pretty good. It's probably going to be Gomber, but I do see a scenario where Perez does give up 4 to 5 runs and just has a stinker. He's young.
You know how Aram is obviously a huge Marlins guy, loves Yuri Perez to death. You know what he said today?
What did he say? I missed it.
He was like, no, he hasn't come on stream. He's actually in Miami. He's traveling. He's going to game.
Okay.
He's going to the game tonight.
Yeah.
He was like, I have a bad feeling Yuri Perez gives up 7 home runs tonight. He's like, I think he's going to get destroyed.
Yeah. And I'm kind of with him. I don't know about 7, but hey, I would take 7.
7 home runs is a decent amount. That's a decent amount of home
runs.
But
I mean, he is giving up home runs, right? That's kind of been his knock so far. And again, I just think the uncertainty with him playing in Coors and then also Gomber on the other end, his whiff rate on a slider is down like 12% from last year. That's been a big issue for him. Guys are making contact. He's not comfortable and confident on the mound right now. And also the Marlins are hitting lefties pretty well too. I think they rank 9th, like a WRC plus of like 115. Mm-hmm. Good conditions in Coors, low pressure. I think we're going to see a lot of runs today.
Good stuff, my man. So we're taking the Coors first 5 over. We're taking the full game Coors over. What else you got for us?
Just those. I do want to say that these are, I guess, alt lines technically. So I did, put a little bit more, but it just gives me the push potential. I mean, I'm fine with anyone watching to pick one of these or split up a unit in between 2 to more a traditional line of 6.5 for the first 5 or 11.5.
Cool.
Either way you want to slice it, it works. But again, I'm expecting a lot of runs today.
Let's say for some reason someone can't find the 6, right? Because on BetMGM, for example, like you can find them, but let's just say they're like looking at the lines. They're like, I wonder if Ben would take 6.5. I wonder if he would take 11.5. Like, how would you go about that?
Yeah, I would take 6.5. I know 6.5 seems daunting in 5 innings, but trust me, when Gomber's out there, you'll feel okay. The Marlins just got to Marlins just have to get guys home. There's going to be guys on base, but yeah, it's one of those. You look at it. I know people see the high total in the first 5 and they're like, "Oh my God, that's so many runs." But trust me, there's going to be a lot of base runners tonight.
Good stuff, my man. Appreciate you coming on. How about us? Why not us?
Well, why not us? Yeah, guys. Leaderboard in a week, it's going to look completely different.
And then the next week, it'll look completely different from that. It's just going to go up and down. So like, you're like, oh, look at the show or look at this guy. Like it's May 20. What is it going to look like August 26th? We'll see, my friend. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
Thanks for giving us winners, Ben. All right. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Tomas Romo coming off. I think your worst day on stream. I've never seen it happen.
Yep.
I've seen you lose bets. I've lost bets. Everyone's going to lose bets. Haven't seen you gone over on stream in a very long time.
No, it's been a minute. The part that made the most upset, Peter, is that I was in first place and now I'm in third. Like, are you kidding me?
That's when we talk about the leaderboard. Like, you were in first yesterday. And like, it's just, and then you'll probably be in first in a week, and then you'll be in fifth the next week, and then you'll be it's gonna be like this.
Always. Yeah, and that's the name of the game. We know what we signed up for, and we're in the second month of the MLB season. I think the part that got to me the most yesterday is the Braves score 4 runs in the first inning, Peter, and Charlie Morton just couldn't throw a fastball in like the third inning, the third, fourth, and fifth inning. He couldn't throw a fastball for a strike. And I remember watching, and I go, wow, I'm gonna lose. And then in the 5th inning, Eddie Rosario hits a ball up the middle, and James Outman makes a great play to rob the 2 runs that would have cashed that for me. All I needed was 1 to hit. I just needed 1 to hit, and I got none. I got nothing. But I stayed up last night. I was in the lab, and I got 3 plays today. And I'm sorry, but I'm going 3-0 today. I'm not playing around.
Not playing around. The Rangers are banned.
Yeah, Rangers are banned.
Rangers are banned. It's May 22nd. Rangers are banned.
Yep. Yeah. Never again.
All right. Let's
done.
talk. Get into what's your first play?
First one, Orioles, Yankees. I'm playing the under 8. I know it's at 7.5 now. I locked it in last night at 8 because 2 reasons. One, Garrett Cole's on the bump. He's at home, and he's been pitching out of his mind lately. And I think Baltimore, truthfully, in this game, I think Baltimore probably wins. I think having them at such a high plus money, how do you not take them? They have the second best record in all of baseball right now behind the Rays. And I like Baltimore. I really do like the Orioles. They're sneaky good, but Garrett Cole has a great track record against them. 2.33 ERA against the O's. But here's another thing too. Kyle Bradish has pitched better on the road than at home this year. I'm looking at splits right now. 3.12 ERA on the road. And he's made more road starts than he has at home. And I got a little bit of the wind in my favor. I think it was like 8 to 9 mile per hour winds blowing in, or it was a crosswind, something like that. I forgot what it was. But I like the under 8. Seeing it go down to 7.5 made me feel a little bit better. I see a low-scoring game because I think this is one of those games, especially to open up the series, where Baltimore's going to want to win, and so is New York. It's a divisional game. I like the under here. Also, too, Aaron Judge is not hitting a home run today. I keep seeing that all over Twitter or it's popping up that Aaron Judge is going deep today. No, he's not.
Well, no, he is going deep, but it's ending 2-0. He's going deep.
Okay, it can end 2-0. Peter, I'm cool with it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Aaron Judge. He's going deep, but that doesn't mean the over's hitting. He's got to he's going to hit 8 home runs.
We'll see. We'll see. Also, too, part of me, like I said, of liking the Orioles in this matchup, I like their bullpen as well. I mean, talking about Cano and Bautista, that 8-9. I mean, they've been unhittable so far this season.
Literally unhittable.
No doubt about it. If the O's have the lead going into that 7th, 8th inning, I'm feeling even better about this bet. And I like the under 8. I mean, you're giving me a whole number at 8. Come on. Even if I get the push on like a 5-3 game, I didn't lose. That's the way that I see it. 8's a solid number. I probably wouldn't play a full unit on 7.5. I figured that question was coming from you, but I would probably go half a unit on the 7.5. But an 8, I was more than comfortable laying the 1.2.
Like the round number. Love it, my friend. Second play.
We're going with the Phillies. And this is one of those real, I would say, man, I really hope Philadelphia gets it done for me today. And
meat on the table.
Yeah.
Meat on the table.
Pretty much. And the part that made me so upset with this Phillies game is throughout the day, they announced that Matt Strahm, he's still going to be the starter, but he's going to probably only pitch like 3-4 innings. Apparently, they're trying to inning restrict him. And some guy, last name Covey, I forgot his first name, is coming in. Is
Dylan Covey.
Yeah. Dylan Covey's going to come in and pitch the back end of this game. And so I'm like, well, whatever. But the reason why I played the Phillies in this
whatever.
I'm like, at this point, I'm locked in. I'm locked in on the Phillies. I'm
locked in
with that. But I will say this. I like the matchup for the Phillies offense. They are substantially better against right-handed pitching. They are batting 273 against right-handers compared to 230 against lefties. And we saw them struggle against Henry yesterday on the bump. I think this is a good bounce back spot. Also, Nelson is coming off his best start of the season against the Oakland A's. I see that as a regression spot here for him. Also, too, when I look at Nelson, he's pitched pretty well. His expected ERA is 4.6. His normal ERA is 5.48. But when I look at some of his advanced stats, Opponent's expected batting average against his fastball is 302, 436 against his curveball, which he's throwing at. It's his put away pitch 15% of the time. And I don't like that curveball that's going to be breaking in towards these left-hand bats of Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber. And I think Bryce Harper goes deep today. I told you yesterday Acuna was going to go deep, and then the first pitch of the game, he shot one over James Outman's head. And you should have seen me, Peter. I was like, oh my gosh, I caught it. And then it was just a double. But
hey,
close.
But
I do like the Phillies today. I'm going to play them the full game, just win the damn game. But I do like them on the run line as well. I threw half a unit on it. The line has moved substantially in Philadelphia's favor. I got them at minus 129. I think they're at like minus 150 right now. I saw them.
Minus 155. Holy shit! And now it's down to plus 125 on the run line. What would you lay minus? Like, how are you playing it now?
So if I would play that now, what I'm probably going to do is kind of the same way that I played this. Okay, I'm going to probably throw 1 unit to win what would be like maybe 0.5 units on just them to win the game. And then
I think you'd be looking at like 0.65 or something.
0.65. Like yeah, that's what I would probably throw. I'll just risk 1 unit to win whatever. And then I would still be comfortable throwing the half a unit on, plus 120, plus 125 on the run line, because I still like the Phillies to win by more than 1 run in this matchup. So I'm comfortable with it. I wouldn't probably lay the 1.6 to win 1. But, I mean, me getting at minus 129, great value. I think even getting on at the run line, I was at plus 145. I love it even more. Come on, Philadelphia. I just see an offensive game. I'm not really worried about the pitching. Score some damn runs today, and let's go 3-0. Let's go 3-0, and I'm coming back, Peter. We're coming back today.
I have a bad feeling, and I hope your bet hits.
Okay, let's hear it.
You might ban the Phillies after today.
I might.
Because what you're going to do, and when I have learned my lesson of hammering Phillies plays, they fucking don't show up. Yeah. And they have the worst ABs, and you're pulling your hair out. It's one thing you put a max play and whatever on someone else, and it's like they lost, gave it a good shot. Put this Phillies, they might just crush. You might just hit this. I'm not saying that it's not even a bad play today. You got the line moving on your side. I'm just telling you, when you put a lot of money on the Phillies, they rip your heart out. They do. And I will say this. So yesterday I was watching a little bit of the game because I was like, I have MLB TV, of course. I'm watching all the games. If I got, love it.
Let's put it on. And I sat there and I watched, I think it was like the 5th or 6th inning. And I watched Henry get behind the count, like 3-1 to like Schwarber, to Realmuto. And I just watched horrible at that after that.
Horrible.
I was like, why are you swinging? He's giving you the base. He's giving you the walk. And you're going to hit a ground ball to third base for the double. It's just, it's tough. But today we're turning around. They're facing a right-handed pitcher. These lefty bats. I think the Phillies going to be a little pissed off. I hope they're a little pissed off.
They better be. They just lost 6-3 with Tommy Henry against freaking Zach Wheeler. They should be pissed off. I like the play. I think it's going to hit. I'm worried about your mental if it doesn't. Like the other plays, you lose plays all the time. So do I. Everyone does. Your mental's not going to be crushed. The Phillies, they do something to you when you lose on them. You're just like, oh.
That's how I feel about the Rangers. Even the Braves got me yesterday. I love the Braves. I love Atlanta, and it was crushing. But I will say this: I know you're on. It's funny because I almost played it today too, but I almost played the Braves first 5 minus a half. But I said, you know what? They screwed me yesterday. I can't do it. I can't do it again because if they lost again today, I wouldn't know how to handle that. So all the best of luck to you, Peter. I think the Braves are going to cash for you today. That's why I'm not on it. I need someone else has got to win today. Someone else has got to win on the Braves. So why not us?
Good stuff. Wait. Oh, we got 10 minutes until the next person. Do you do you have any prize pick squares that you like?
Oh man, Pierre, you know what? Time out. Give me 5 seconds. I'll
give you 5 seconds. We'll cook a little bit.
Up prize picks right here.
We got Javon at 6 and then Gino at 6. Okay, because we got Javon and Gino still coming on, but they're not coming on for a couple of minutes. So, and I want to get going because we have this White Sox Guardians game starting in 25-ish minutes.
Oh, I got one for you, Peter. I got one for you, Peter. Truthfully, I like the Garrett Cole under strikeouts. It was I saw it just on the book. Normally they at 7.5. Prize Picks has it at 7. I still like the under Ks. I really think. I mean, I really do think Garrett Cole's going to go out there and shove. I think he's going to go 5-6 innings of solid baseball, but I don't see him having a 9-10 strikeout performance because I think this O's team, They're the underdog in this. They know that. And they got some dogs. They got some dogs in Baltimore. They really do. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm excited to watch it. Like I said, I see a low-scoring game, but I see Garrett Cole going, 5-6 innings, probably getting real close. He's going to flirt with that 7, but for it being only 7 strikeouts, I'm going to lean towards the under there. I think he probably finished with like 5 or 6. It's a sweater, but if I had to give you a prize pick square, I'm probably going to go Garrett Cole under K's.
Good stuff, my man. One more thing, too, from J Clear 88. Tomas is coming for top spot. Stop hating Pete. First of all, I agree. You easily could be going for the top spot. 2, have I been hating on you at all?
I don't think we've ever been hating, Peter. We're always on the same page, I feel like. We're just trying to win some money here. We're just trying to win for the people. What are we doing?
Jay Clear is trying to come in and just ruin a relationship. Thanks a lot, Jay Clear, you piece of shit. Thanks for that. All right. I'm looking through this prize picks board. Oh, we got Javon coming in early. So we're going with Garrett Cole under 7 Ks. Okay. I don't even hate it. All right.
Have a day, Peter.
My man. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Keep killing it. All right. Javon, the milkman.
How we doing?
Doing amazing. Just trying to win some bets. I assume you are too. Let's get to it.
Of course. Love to hear it. Yeah. First play. Can just hop right into it. 2 units on the under in Milwaukee and Houston. It's my favorite play on the board today. I was kind of shocked to see. I know the wind was involved, but you said the model. I saw the
loves
model. Loves it, which is weird. I expected it to be quite the opposite.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I like being outside, it's the right side of the model, especially with totals. I've seen been pretty sharp. You've been talking about, but
very sharp.
Yeah, this is my. I don't want to say favorite system. It's not really a system, but it's just something I like to do. When we have a premier pitching matchup, which a lot of them have included the Brewers and Corbin Burns in some capacity, even though he hasn't been, ace caliber type pitcher this year. Have a game with a low total with a significantly better pitching matchup that soars over the day before. Always like to give the under the day the next look, especially when we have a matchup that I can kind of back it up with a little bit of baseball brain as well. And this is what we have here with JP France and Colin Ray on the mound. So that kind of drew my attention, as well as Altuve being in the lineup today as opposed to sitting yesterday. So it's kind of the one you wouldn't expect, but I really do. I know Colby was talking about some of the similar things. I really like JP France's matchup today. I was big on fading him last start out against the Cubs, where he kind of got rocked because I don't want to say he struggles because there's not really a trend there quite yet, but I've noticed that he thrives from non-patient teams, and the Cubs are the most patient team in the MLB as of now. They see the most pitches per plate appearance, which I'll talk about a little bit when we get to the Cubs. But JP France, outside of Christian Yelich, who's having some good at-bats, Rowdy Tellez also, a lot of this Brewers lineup isn't very patient. And that's why earlier in the season, especially with some of those guys towards the middle and end of the lineup, even the young guys, why they were so successful at kind of hunting fastballs. And teams have kind of figured that out, which is why I think they're regressing a little bit offensively, and that started pretty early on. So JP France, a guy who's starting to be better, I guess, at nibbling around the corner a little bit, I think, against this Brewers offense. He's set up for a lot of success here. So, I mean, against the Cubs, he got into deep counts, hung a lot of off speed, which got barreled and got crushed. I don't think he's going to be in those same positions against the Brewers today. So I really like his matchup. And on the other side with Colin Rea, I like his matchup. I think he'll do enough. Obviously, the home run issue scares you when you got guys like Jordan and Kyle Tucker in the lineup, but praying that those are solo shots. But I do think he has a decent matchup as well. Astros, like I said yesterday, which didn't really work out, taking the Brewers, they don't hit the cutter well, which a lot of the damage was not done on the cutter. And, I mean, if you look at all the metrics, it's probably not crazy to say that Colin Rea's cutter is a better pitch than Corbin Burns right now. It's kind of what I'm going with. You look at a lot of the metrics, and he's, again, talking about another pitcher that's been better at nibbling around the corners with his cutter. Corbin Burns has left it center cut of the plate, which is obviously not going to work against the Astros at all. So I think those two matchups, like you talked about, two bullpens are rested on both sides relatively. No top guys for the Brewers had to go yesterday. Astros didn't really have to use much at all. I love this under here. I think we get a little surprising pitcher's duel.
Mustache, Colby, and Javon are on this, and the model likes it. Why wasn't I on it? There was something about it. I was like, I think the only reason I wasn't on it was it's like the model loved the under yesterday. It didn't hit. And I'm like, is it just going to love the under? And then I looked into it. I was like, I like the bullpens late in games. Like, I think the run scoring is going to stop. But I'm like, all right, is it going to be 3-3 after 5? Then it's like a sweaty kind of under. And I was like, I like it. But the fact that you're on it and you broke it down beautifully, Colby's on it and he's been hot. Model likes it. I think this is a winner. Let's get to play number 2.
Yeah, so I have 2 plays, which I still like them. Kind of got shafted by some lineup changes here, which kind of sucks. Second one I think I have up here is the Cubs. A lot of that was predicated on Kodai Senga against this Cubs lineup, like I was talking about. Very patient team, and he's a guy who has obviously had his command issues. Would have gotten himself into pretty deep counts, letting balls go across the middle quite a bit to this Cubs offense. But I don't hate Tyler Meagle's matchup either, and it's another situation where I think the Cubs' patience is really going to pay off here. But on the other side too, I do like Drew Smyly's matchup. It's well documented how much the Mets have struggled against left-handed pitching, especially a guy like Drew Smyly, who I think is a really good matchup for them. So I really would have loved Kodai Senga instead of Tyler Meagle, but didn't really have a choice. But I do still like to play.
It's also minus 115 now.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. That's what I was going to say. I was kind of anticipating it to sit around the same-ish price, minus 105, minus 110, pick 'em-ish. But I was surprised to see it move, so I do like that. I do think the Cubs offense still set up in pretty good matchup here, so still rolling with it, still like it.
Good stuff. Play number 3?
Yeah, another one where lineup changes kind of sucked here because the Rays dropped their lineup with no Yandy Diaz and no Brandon Lau.
Why?
I don't know. Brandon Lau, I know he had some like neck tightness that they scratched him very late, but Yandy
he slept on the wrong side of the bed.
Slept on. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm fine not having him in the lineup. But Yandy Diaz,
he's been horrible.
He's horrid. Yeah. So I mean, good for Colby's over that he's not in the lineup, but Yandy is kind of a solid hit, which I hate.
Yeah, that sucks. He's the best hitter in baseball by WRC Plus this season. Number 1.
He's the MVP in my opinion.
He's such a stud.
Yeah, but yeah, I still do like the Rays lineup because it's a lot predicated on Jose Barrios, not necessarily in any individual matchup, which, yes, Yandy Diaz, it's so different with this Rays lineup with Yandy Diaz at the top of it. I've talked about that a lot. I don't like to back them many times when he's not in the lineup, but with Barrios today, which everybody knows his home and road splits, especially in the Trop, he's dominated the Rays in Rogers Center, but in the Trop, it's something different. It's something specific that I've noticed, and I'm not sure if it's a Kevin Cash thing or, the approach of individual hitters, but whenever he goes into the Trop, that sinker command is horrid. And you can probably say that a lot of times, especially, through the last couple of years. But the sinker command is horrid. So when you have guys in the lineup that are able to sit on off speed, it's a really good matchup for him. So I talk about guys like Harold Ramirez, who have been very good, especially shooting balls to the opposite side. Opposite field, sitting on that off speed. Josh Lowe kind of looks iffy on off speed. It depends. He's either running into one or looking completely stupid. But the absence of Brandon Lowe in this lineup, Brandon Lau, is actually an asset for the Rays, not just because he's terrible, but also because it kind of takes the off speed out of the equation because he hasn't hit an off speed pitch in 7 years. So a lot of that lineup I still really like. I mean, guys like Wander and Randy too. Good matchup, speak for itself. Randy's starting to get hot sneakily. After his little cold stretch. So that's the side that I want to be on. So I really just think Barrios gets lit up. In another situation, not as bad as Colin Rea, but I think Taj Bradley does enough. I think he definitely is in the cards to give up a tank or two to this lineup, but I kind of like the adjustments that they've started to make after him coming back from the minors. And I think it'll be a real big asset against the Blue Jays in this game specifically. So still riding it out with no Yandy, no Brandon Lau.
It's a big start for Taj just moving forward, right? Because the Rays coming down with some injuries, right? Drew Rasmussen, Jeffrey Springs. And if Taj can be that guy, the Rays go right back into it. You got Eflin, you got McClanahan, you got Taj. Who am I forgetting?
Glasnow's back Saturday.
And then Glasnow's back Saturday. Let's see you go through those 4. And if Taj is that guy, which I do think he is, and I do think he shoves today, I think you're on the right side here. Another just must-watch game. It's going to be sick. Rios, Taj, and the Trop after the Blue Jays dropped one to start. It's a big-time series. Do you have any I think that's the end of your picks, right?
Yeah. I don't have any
prize picks?
Yeah, I don't have a prize picks entry today because
Me neither.
We were deep in the lab. I don't really care for the prop board today, to be honest.
Me neither. I didn't like it today. A lot of weird, I was I might just stack Cardinals and Reds. Also, Cardinals and Reds, for all those people who were wondering about 10.5 at minus 105, it's now minus 115. The model did an adjustment. that went from the Cardinals scoring about 5.8 runs to 6.22. Something just triggered something. And the line moved accordingly. Now it has a 10.5 at minus 156, 11.5 at minus 104 on the model. This game is soaring.
Maybe Nolan Arenado's finally coming to the plate. You know what I did today? I mean, we have him on Dinger Tuesday, but took his under a strikeout. Which is
you took Arenado under strikeout?
Yeah. It's a little green bean on Prize Picks, and for whatever reason I looked, and it's minus 130 to the under. Which, coming off of, what do you have, 3 yesterday? That makes sense.
I think it's 6.
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
I took your advice. I went back and watched those ABs. I mean, he looked hurt. Like he looked like he was swinging with 2 torn ACLs.
It was terrible. It was terrible, atrocious. But yeah,
Chris Bassett.
I'd say that sucked. I took that today. I took Bryce Harper today. Do really like Bryce Harper. What are some of the other things I took? Took Jarren Duran, hits, runs, and RBI, which wires that up. I don't really know. Luis Medina strikeouts.
Luis Medina over strikeouts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it. Yes. Yeah.
It's not that gross. It's not that gross because Mariners against a righty who I really believe in too. So it's a matchup thing more than a Luis Medina thing. But yeah, didn't really love the board today, so didn't pull one together. We were too busy in the Dinger Tuesday lab too. Of course.
Love it, my friend. And so your favorite Dinger Tuesday pick for the people?
It's Bryce.
Court Bryce.
Court Bryce, yeah, Court Bryce. We took Court Bryce, and then probably the non-Corpwish one that I like is Josh Lowe.
I just don't know why you're not on Jake Fraley. He's going yard.
Could be. I'm so out on Cards Reds right now.
I feel you. I understand. I would be All right, man. Appreciate you coming on again. Sure. Excited to have you on, coming on consistently. Just keep winning.
Let's hope so.
There's a couple people who are up right now, and you're one of them. Keep it going.
Yeah, let's try and make it stay that way.
Good stuff, my man. Talk to you soon, all right?
Appreciate it.
All right, so we only have Gino coming on soon. He's the last person. Yeah, I'll shoot him a text. Brandon Belt over 1/2 a base and Matt Olson over 1.5 bases. Yeah, why not? You said his play wasn't going to hit from Jay Clear. No, I never said that. I said if it doesn't hit, the Phillies are an excruciating team to be on the wrong side of when they're not hitting. I assume I have a feeling you're a Phillies fan, or your ears don't work. I don't, because there's no way I said that the Phillies weren't hitting. I said I have a feeling if the Phillies don't end up winning, your mental state is going to be terrible because the Phillies, more often than not, when they lose, it's a horrible way to lose. When they win, it's great. So that's what I meant. Any thoughts on the Angels game tonight? Honestly, not even slightly. I barely looked into that game. A true Yankees fan. All right. Then the ears thing might be your issue. Angels, Red Sox. Canning versus Bayo. It's a pick 'em. Mickey Moniak is such a beast. Boston. Who are we looking at with Boston? Duran, yeah. Duran, dude, what the hell has he been doing? And 320. Yoshida, still doing his thing. Okay. No shade here. Okay, what else we got here? Excuse me, sorry. Lean Cubs or Mets? Well, Javon just went Cubs money line. So he's very good at betting. I don't really have a play. The model does have the Cubs at a minus 115 favorite. That's what they are now. Up to you, right? Up to you whether you like that or not. He broke it down very well, and it was again on the kind of the pitching change, right? He liked it with Senga. I don't know how confident he is now with McGill, but I think the main basis for that play was the fact that he he likes the matchup for Drew Smyly against the Mets. So it's something to consider. Braves team total over 4.5. Not a bad play. Pete, you on the Guardians game? Yes, I am on the over 8 runs. Thanks, Peter, for advice with Fangraphs yesterday. I took your advice on the total on White Sox game at 8, and I took it right away because of Allen and Cease xERA. We're building, right? Good stuff, my friend. Good stuff. Eduardo Rodriguez under 5.5 hits allowed. Yeah, I mean, why not? Who's he going up against? The Royals? They're not very good at hitting. I mean, I'd have to look into it more, but Prado, Salvi, Vinny, Bobby. They took Bobby out of the one hole. Olivares, Massey. This is a decent lineup today. I don't know. We'll see. The Model C value on the Sox. Remember, make sure to you check out ballparkpal.com. It's all on there. So if you ever have questions about the model, ballparkpal.com. Pete joining late. What was your favorite play? Well, I got 3 of them today. I got the Braves through the first 5 on the run line, -0.5. I have the over 10 or over 9.5 in Cardinals Reds. And then I have the Guardians versus the White Sox over 8. Those are my those are my 3 favorite play. Spit it out, Peter. Yankees money line, please hit. A lot of people in the Yankees today. Could be a little bit of a trap. We'll see what happens though. Tomas is on that under 8. Could be a good play. Now it's at 7.5, so you got some line movement in that direction. What's it at now? Let's see. Oh, it's back up to 8. Ooh, with an hour before. That's not. You don't love to see that. Bradish Masterclass. It's up to 8. We'll see. See if we can get Gino coming on here soon. One day. Let's see. Anyone else? What's anyone else on? Any other questions? We're just waiting for Gino, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Definitely want to see Gino with no shirt on in his backyard, just chilling, drinking, and giving us winners. Do I like the Pirates over? No, I don't. It makes sense from a baseball brain wise, but we got line movement going in the other direction, and the model has it at 7.5, and it's at 8. So from a baseball brain perspective, yes, but that from a baseball brain perspective, that could just be the square play. So I'm not rocking with that Rangers Pirates over. Could hit, you never know, but model doesn't like it. Not a big fan. Do the effing Phillies win today? Well, what I do know is Tomas is on them on the money line and on the run line. He got it at -130 and then +145 on the run line. Now it's at -155, so you got good line movement there. Heat or Celtics, Peter? I don't know shit about basketball. Are the Celtics like gonna get swept? Probably. Producer Co, what do you think? Heat or Celtics?
I mean, the Celtics are going to lose.
Celtics are going to lose?
Tonight, yeah.
You think they get swept tonight?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. What are you guys in?
I think you should take the Heat money line every single game next series. It's going to be value the whole time.
That's a good point. He thinks you take Heat money line every single game next series and there'll be value on the money line. I mean, if Braun got swept, good point. Being on the over in St. Louis, Cincinnati, would you agree with over first 5.5 and first 5, or do you see runs coming in late? I think runs come in late, right? I capped it too because it's like the Reds bullpen, they used all 5 of their main guys. So again, no real rest there. The Cardinals did the same thing with their top 4. So I think runs are going to come in late also and early, right? I think 5.5 is a good line. Colby, who's been great, is on the first 5 over 5.5. I think that hits. I think there's 6 runs through 5, and then I think there's much more. But I think there's a strong possibility like this bet could hit early. Like we got late sim action, right? Because what it does is it'll continue to sim when models come in, or when lineups come in. And something interesting. So the Cardinals Reds over went up on the model. Went up to 11.5. It was at 11, went up to 11.5. Conversely, though, It's still kind of at 9. Slight adjustment down for Guardians White Sox. So it normally had the Guardians scoring over 5. It was like 5.11. Now 4.96. You saw a slight adjustment towards the under, which is not good. We're on the over, but again, it still has it going over 8, just not over 9. It's still over 8.5. That's the number that you have. And then on the flip side, Cardinals, Reds. Cardinals got a big adjustment. Went from 5.8 to 6.22. Reds stay the same at 5.92, but they think the Cardinals offense, they probably really liked what the Cardinals put out in their lineup today. Pete, thoughts on Guardians Sox first 5 under? I mean, I'm on the full game over, so no, I'm not a fan of that one. Heat haven't lost a game at home this playoffs. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Who's the best pitcher of baseball in your opinion? Best pitcher in baseball. Who's number 1? I mean, DeGrom when healthy is still 1. In my, but I mean, I want to still say Sandy, but I mean, the numbers don't back that up this season. Mitch Keller, Strider's up there. He's easily top 5. I think Yanks are a good look. I do not. Took him reverse run line plus 210. Love it. Gallen's up there for sure. Cole's up there for sure. Do you think Mariners make the playoffs? Absolutely, yes. I have them going to the World Series. My 2 preseason bets. Well, I have much more preseason bets, but in terms of World Series futures, Mariners plus 2,000, Braves plus 750. Braves, obviously, that line has gone way down, so we're on the good side of that. Mariners, not so much. But I like they're off to a slow start. They got off to a slow start last year. So remember, all the plays are tracked on Pickett, right? It's the best pick tracking app. So that's how we track all the units is on Pickett. We put them in. They track it for us. So there's no debate on, anybody, fudging any numbers. They're all tracked there. So if you download Pickett, use code Peter, sync your sports book so you can track your own plays. And then, of course, you can find all of ours on there. Where is this man? Where's Gino? He did not. Pickett, no love for the offshore gang. No, sir. Where are you, Gino? This Guardians White Sox game is starting soon. I want to see what happens. Let's see if we can pull up a little gameplay. The game day app. 1-1. All right. Oh, already got out. Tim Anderson. Already off to a horrible start. Tim Anderson leads the game off with a ground out. You hate to see it. Tim Anderson, be better. Be better. I mean, Gino's not here yet. What'd you say? Yeah, it's true. We'll wait a few more minutes for Gino. We'll hear his plays because he has been very good. Jake Berger strikes out swinging. This is already going horribly. No, we're good. Let's wait a little bit. I knew someone in here nerfing with me on this one. Yeah, someone's definitely nerfing. Anyone like Astros money line, Mariners money line, or Braves money line? I like the Braves. You nuked the nerfy. I mean, personally, I want to run early, but we'll see what happens. But for all the people here who want the nerfy, I'll take my runs later. Hopefully you guys hit your nerfy. In play outs. Nice job, Luis Robert. 1-2-3 inning for Logan Allen. The White Sox. I mean, let's be better. Trent has a nuke PP entry with this in it. Ooh, okay. Well, makes me feel good about the Guardians offense then this next inning. Flies out sharply to right fielder Gabriel Arias. Was that a tank there? What do you do? Cease turn. See how Dylan Cease does against the top of this lineup. OMGGG. What a catch. Are you trolling me? Am I being trolled? Was it what kind of catch was it? Gabriel Arias? Peter sweat stream. I hate sweating out plays. I mean, I do like it, but I like sweating by myself in a dark room. All right. I don't know what to say, Gino. Let's just get to Gino's plays. Let's put him up on the board. If he comes in while we're showing them to you, robbed it at the wall, great. Good start. So Gino's on the Guardians, which is, of course, already started. That's why I wanted to make sure we get these plays in. He's on the Guardians, maybe a live bet because he's got 1.5 units on it. Then he's on the Brewers for only a half unit at plus 124. Remember, Gino's a big algo guy, so he plays value when he sees it, and he's going with the Brewers just for a half unit, though. Rangers at a full unit on the money line at minus 152. I kind of lean that way with him. The model likes it's up to minus 165. He's got a unit on it. Let's see what happens. And those are his 3 plays, right? So we got the Brewers money line. We got the Guardians money line, which could, if you want to bet that live. And then we have what? Rangers money line. So that'll do it for this show, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let's have a day. Why not us? All the codes. Code Peter on Pickett to track all of our plays. Code JB fans on BetMGM. Get all those bonus bets. Then on the flip side, just baseball on Prize Picks. Use those codes. Get your free money. Help support the stream. But again, appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Still giving you guys plays Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. But we have to remember, it's not gambling advice. Good luck, everybody.